Well, Nelson Mandela's Freedom Torch, used during a historic ceremony in 1994 to symbolize the end of apartheid in South Africa, is up for auction this week in the United States. Maria Mandela reports.
2 decades ago, at the gates of Victor Verster prison, hundreds gathered to hear former political prisoner Nelson Mandela begin a campaign to end white minority rule in South Africa. In his right hand, the anti-apartheid icon held a special torch that symbolized that quest for freedom.
This torch was used on February 2nd, 1994, outside of Victor Verster prison, where Nelson Mandela announced to the world that he was running for president of South Africa against de Klerk. And this is the torch that lit the flame of freedom.
Bobby Livingston is with RR Auction, the company putting that torch up for bidding this week in Boston. As a token of appreciation and unity, Mr. Mandela gave it to a man named James David Sansom, a white worker who helped assemble the platforms and staging for that particular rally. Sansom kept the torch until he died 7 years ago.
When I saw it, it was stunning because the charcoal remnants of the flame from that day are still in there, and they're loose, but you can smell it. It's like you can still smell this torch and the fire that it started.
RR Auction used photographic and video evidence and interviewed several eyewitnesses to confirm that this was the actual torch. One of those interviewed was former Robben Island prisoner, now political leader, Monsieur Lakota, known then as Terror Lakota.
The reason we reached out to him, because there's right next to Mandela on the stage is the young Terror Lakota, an eyewitness to this incredible event.
Lakota was one of many around the world who paid tribute to President Mandela when he passed away in December of last year. He wrote these words to RR Auction about the torch. Quote, "I feel in my hand today, after all the years that have passed, the weight of the torch of freedom and the added responsibility it gave me in carrying it that day after being in the grip of the inimitable Nelson Mandela." Livingston adds that Sansom family members say they would like the symbolic piece to be curated or go to a museum. Bidding for the 53-centimeter metal torch will start at $50,000. In Washington, Maria Mandela, VOA News.